Okay, Brawl in the Tombs. After struggling my way back to the surface from the icy ocean depths, I strove for what seemed like ages to paddle my raft back to shore. I made it back just at daybreak and got the hell out of the area, unnerved by sinister things I had discovered. I obtained some information down there that told me something big is up. The mechanists are now fighting on the island of Iron against the undead hordes that stalk there in order to obtain the island for themselves, something the Hammers tried and failed to do. Unsure what to do next, I decided to take a little vacation from the city. With all the wardens currently skirmishing for power and the city watch all out in force, I felt it would be a wise thing to do while I considered my options. I arrived in Lithsk, a small town just outside the city, and took up residence in a local inn for the last couple of days. Now new horrors await me. A group of Hammerites under the leadership of the legendary fighter of the undead, Thorin, along with a band of hired mercenaries, has been fighting their way into a massive underground complex of tombs that have laid quiet and almost forgotten deep under the town cemetery, quiet until a mysterious wizard stirred things up and paid for his meddling with his life. Good thing, I thought. The fewer warlocks, in my opinion, the better. Magic is nothing but trouble in my book. I paid a visit to an old friend who ran the local pub. We had collaborated together on a previous job at a nearby hammer chapel. He just got some information, actually. I took all of the risks. Turns out the story about the existence of a thieves' hideout in Lithskin is true. He told me the place isn't far from here. The entrance is in a cave on the side of the deep river valley beside the old dam. The thieves had taken residence in the caves and rebuilt them with brick and mortar to suit their needs through the years. Not long before the incident, they broke through into the tombs. Their boss, a man named Willie, who was a good friend of my associate, had explored the tombs and even found a secret way into the basement of one of the local nobles named Linus, a real jerk from what I hear. I cased his place a while back and decided it wasn't worth the trouble. The guy's got it sealed up like a fortress. My friend says Willie found all kinds of valuables down there, but he forbade anyone from grave robbing on pain of death. Guess he was scared something like this might happen. Smart move, too. Too bad it didn't work. When the shit hit the fan, the thieves were able to seal their hideaway off from the tombs to keep the zombies out. Despite their good fortune, the Hammers are now reaching the lowest levels of the tombs. Willie is planning to leave, but not before he stages a little expedition of his own to see if he can and grab something for himself before fleeing. Seeing an opportunity to make a substantial donation to my retirement fund, not to mention my desire to find out more about mechanists and their presidents in the area they've been spotted running around Linus's estate the last few days, I've decided to venture down there and see what I could find. All I went through to get the Bloodstar gem, haunts and zombies are the least scary things you can run into in tombs. My friend just got back from Willie's place, and now I have a plan. With all the town watch patrols between here and the river, it would be too risky to go there right now, but there's a different way. In the center of town there's a fenced-in area which has a shaft that leads straight down into the deepest point of the tombs. Apparently the Lithskin Town Council don't keep good records. My pal said they thought it was just an old access door to the sewers. I'll slip into the place at dusk and go down to see what I can steal. Plus I'll attempt to find that secret tunnel to Linus's place myself and see what the metalheads are doing there. When I'm done, I'll make my exit to the river valley through the thieves' hideout. My passage has been granted by Chief Willie in return for a share of the profits. There's just one thing that bothers me. It doesn't make much sense for Willie's thieves to go roaming around later tonight, when I may have already stolen everything not nailed down. I guess they think I'll end up as zombie chower practiced on me for the Hammers. Time for this master thief to prove them wrong. Okay, let's play. This mission has a significant number of edits and a remix, as Dark Assassin calls it. He added a few things to John Dee's map. One of them is this objective about the keepers, and there are a few keeper glyphs around, but I don't think a single keeper appears in the mission, so I guess that was an addition that the guy never got around to making. Anyway, Brawl in the Tombs. Go ahead, grab the Sink 2, rob the dead for 4,500 in riches. Are the mechanists down here? If they are, they can't be up to anything good. Find some information. You keep hearing rumors about a mysterious dark sword hidden away in the tombs somewhere. Find it and make it yours. As deep as these tombs are, there has to be something old that would have value to the right people. Find an artifact. The Hammers are sure to have a rosary somewhere. Getting your hands on that would pay the rent. You know the Hammers have a lot of dead resting here. Not anymore. See if you can find one of those gold skulls they seem to have a fetish for. You spotted a glyph that shows that keepers are nearby. Don't screw up by killing any. There's a thieves guild down here, and for a fee they're on your side. Stay on their good side by not killing any. It takes hard work to steal. Don't waste all of your effort by getting yourself killed. Find the thieves' hideout and make your exit. Here's the keeper.
Time to raid some tombs.
Here's a keeper or glyph, but again, I don't think a single keeper appears in the mission. Access shaft B, no unauthorized entry.
A fall from this height could hurt.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. This was a Hammerite outpost, but they got overrun. Bunch of undead here staring down the Hammerites and their mercenaries. Let's not disturb them.
He won't need that anymore.
Resting place of Grandmaster Tertullian, 3rd Dynasty. As well as some coins in it. The loot goal is so high, I pretty much have to get every little bit I can. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. Let's proceed with the mission. Gotta be careful around these areas with the dragon's teeth spikes. Occasionally, the Hammerites and mercenaries have placed mines there. Apparition around the corner. Now, I believe this leads to the Dark Sword.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Within this pyramid lies the ashes of the mighty warrior Lysander. Touch not his sword.
Now that's big.
We got Lysander's story about a bunch of undead that are still around here in the tomb, and someone just breached the doors. There's on the other side, and it's the mechanists. You may or may not notice it, but that spider bot that is shooting gear projectiles instead of arrows. And apparently, those skull projectiles that the apparitions throw can disable robots. I didn't know that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, let's run away for now. Whoa! That's a lot of skulls. Hey, we got some hammer apparitions too. And it looks like that zombie has a similar attack. Here's a note. We're trapped. Priest Kentar is trying to keep everyone calm while we try to force open this rusty old door, which is our only way out. One minute we were pursuing a group of haunts that were trying to attack our turrets. Then all of a sudden one of the combat bots in the rear reversed itself and began firing. Did some zombies try to close on us from behind? There's no way to tell. The next second, there was an explosion that triggered a huge cave-in, demolishing the bot and killing 3 of our friends. The hallway ahead of us leading to the southern branch collapsed too. Now the only way out is through this large doorway that leads to builder knows where. Night has surely fallen by now and we must hurry. If we can't make it back to the chamber we came out of, perhaps it's possible to reach the hammers. I'm sure they can't be far. The hammers will certainly be furious with our presence here, but Thorin will not deny us sanctuary, even if that means having us thrown out of here. Thorin may reject the words of Karis, but he'll not leave us to the undead unlike some other people. Friend Nikita. Now, we'll find out very soon who this someone is who would leave his comrades to the enemy. I'm just kidding, it's Arbez. He's back. One of the hammer outposts that was overrun by the undead. And we're back at that hallway where the hammers and undead are staring each other down. Tunnel into this tomb, which I believe takes us behind the Hammerites' base, or inside it. Now on the other side, yes, they've broken open an old tomb and unleashed a bunch of undead inside.
There thou art. Thou shalt trespass no more. Thy sin shall make thee known. Thou canst not hide for long. Thou wilt not escape. Slave thee, brother.
Builder, shield us all.
Blood shall be repaid with blood. I shall spy thee soon enough. I know thou dost creep around here somewhere.
I shall spot thee.
Now, unfortunately, I believe that the tomb that the hammers just breached is the one that has the gold skull. So I'm gonna have to get past them. Oh crap. More haunts. That's not good. can destroy zombies with this sword. I thought you could only damage them. I did remember that happening, but I thought that was in a different version of this.
Friend, I spy a villain. To me. Shooter is here. I am fueled by the fire.
Oh boy. Let's hope they take care of those haunts. This could be very annoying.
Find you.
Hide if you can, villain.
Right.
I shall spot thee soon.
Where are you?
It seems they were successful, but now they're looking for me. Oh boy.
Promise thee a goodly.
Forget it. I'll just...
What? Keep your eyes open. I think we've got a break-in.
Brothers, this is an extremely dangerous area. Keep an eye on the steel doors to the north. The ungodly noises coming from there reveal an awful presence of evil. Although the tombs in the south wing appear to remain locked and undisturbed, don't let your vigilance falter. There could still be zombies in there. Remember to keep those robbing mercenaries out of this wing. Thorin and I have confiscated many valuables from those greedy taffers. We don't need them nosing around and getting something started before Thorin gets back. One blast could open those old doors and unleash the evil ones. Corinth. Oh crap.
Murderous craven.
Oh,
Prepare for thy stopping, Wade.
yeah, time to run away. Oh, brother. Right. Plan B. Okay. Nothing in here, it seems. Alright, we got the gold skull. Let's see if anything else is around. Oh. What the fuck? Yeah, there's some of the undead have new tricks here. I think this guy will throw ghost skulls at you if you let him. Alright, now get this other guy. Oh, finally. Okay, got the gold skull again. Another secret passage. It's to the tunnels. hurt bad. Was heading to the Linus place when the dead came after us. Got separated in the fray. I hope Brenner or one of the others made it. Found some secret passage. Only way I stayed out of their claws. Don't know where it leads you. Down here it's wet and so cold. Maybe if I rest I'll have the strength to find a way out. Alright, we've got 1,700 in loot. That means about 3,000 to go. We're in the Hammerites command area now.
I love it when money falls into my lap.
Yes. And we've got the rosary beads. That's another objective. Don't care if the Hammers find this or not. I'm sick of coming back in for the night only to find the loot we hid uncovered and taken by Thorin and his boys. Corinth, or Corny as we call him behind his back, he hates that, is the worst of the group. Now they've got it all locked up in the storeroom, and Bro Corny is watching us. No use in making a fuss, I guess. Once this job is done, we'll get some gold for our trouble. Not enough, in my opinion. This place is scary as hell. Just hope Terrell stops ducking into dark passages to grab whatever he can find on patrol. Something's liable to grab him. I miss Benny. Thorin sure kicked his ass for being drunk on duty before sending him back up to the surface. Drunk or sober, Benny was fearless. Yeah, let's not disturb them.
That had better be wrapped.
Who made that noise?
He guessed that I woke him up somehow. Oh well. Brother Thorin, I have just arrived back from the surface with some much-needed supplies and reinforcements. While our supply of holy water is great, our stockpiles of fire arrows have reached a critically low level. We will need fresh shipments soon in order to maintain our offensives. I also have something else for you. Please don't let Corin see this. He's an old friend and fellow warrior, but couldn't keep his trap shut to save his life. While on the surface, I made contact with a friend who has access to the upper libraries of our order. He's given me a copy of the report given to our High Priest about Mechanist activities on Markham's Isle, as well as their current operations on the Island of Iron. He was also able to obtain a small tract on the history of the Haunted Isle, include it here, which contains some very disturbing information on the disaster which overtook the island, leaving it overrun by the forces of darkness. As this place was, if we have anything to say about it, build or strengthen our arms. Why no one informs you of these things, I cannot say. Perhaps Corinth is right about Valen's being too cordial in a relationship with the heretics. I feel we must finish our task here soon. Who knows what the future may hold? Brother Culture. Brother Thorin and I too am disturbed by the discovery of the mechanists in the area, but as long as they don't interfere with our warriors, I have no plans to deal with them at this time. I'm sure they're here to plunder the tombs in order to get more finances for their order. They may also be using this place as a training ground for some of their newer members to give them experience fighting the undead. There are unsettling reports that they're engaged in some kind of activity on the haunted Isle of Iron. According to our sources, they have built a fortress of steel on the far end of the island from the old castle complex. Perhaps they're preparing to take the island for themselves. If they are, they're acting far wiser than our brethren. If our men had been sent in under your leadership, we would have succeeded. Instead, our high priest sent a crowd of inexperienced acolytes led by a priest with no experience fighting the undead, and the result was annihilation. Even the machines of the heretics, which were altered to suit our purposes, couldn't save them. Builder, forgive my harsh words, but though High Priest Valens has done much to restore the fortunes of our order in the city, he is far too cozy with those heretics, and far too interested in their wicked devices. Your brother and the Builder and comrade in arms, Corinth. Entry 32. I've just gotten word today there's been a disturbance back at the chapel. Apparently the undead disturbances are more widespread than previously thought. One of our younger members got devoured by the unclean beast, and several others were badly injured before the undead were struck down. It has also been reported that the sanctuary has been robbed in the midst of the chaos. Entry 33. I have called a temporary halt on our planned advance in the forest to the center of this tomb area. Despite having one of our outposts recently overrun, I feel confident we'll soon conclude our campaign. Most placed to deny passage to our sector, while our extermination sweeps are shifted to more peripheral areas of the tombs. At this time, I have sent 5 men back to the surface to ensure security back at the chapel. We don't need any more disruptions on the home front by thieves or the undead. Today, I will be making what I hope is a quick trip back to the surface to meet with a representative of High Priest Valens to make a formal report on our progress. While I'm gone, my orders are to hold the areas we have gained, and when I return I plan to lead an attack into the small branch of tombs northwest of the old chapel, where we are currently using as the hub, up through the old iron doors. There are a number of haunts in that area. Undoubtedly this will be a dangerous task, but our tactics should prevail. A sunburst device will be used to burst open the gates, followed by a storm of fire arrows which should destroy and drive back the enemy. With our rear covered by mercenaries, our brethren will advance. Any active undead will be destroyed, and the attacked tombs will be showered with holy water to discourage any future outbreaks of this terrible scourge. Do those ex-soldiers we hired for support think I'm a fool? With their blades and arrows blessed by the holy water of our order, they have proven and vitally needed support for our outnumbered brethren in this infested area, but that does not give them the right to rob tombs or withhold information from me. I've been forced to slow down offensive operations in order to make sure they aren't violating any graves they don't have to. I'm sure those who oppose us will hold this against me, but I've decided to confiscate all discovered treasure and keep it locked in the strong room in the old chapel until its fate can be decided by High Priest Valens. No doubt he will take it for the order himself, but I will leave the decision to him. I will not have it said that I am fighting the undead to line my pockets. While I am gone, my trusted aide, Brother Corinth, will keep things in order down here. I've been informed by Brother Culture that the mechanists have been infiltrating the eastern areas of the tombs. Culture found this out when he overheard a conversation by 2 soldiers who'd spotted a man in dark mechanist uniform while out on patrol. I'm not surprised at all by this turn of events. I've been informed of increased mechanist activity around the estate of Lord Linus. With their iron machines, they could have easily dug a shaft from his basement area straight into this level. Who knows? Perhaps they didn't have to. Based on the stories I hear about valuables getting tapped from his fortress-like manor every once in a while, there may be a secret passage of some sort connecting his basements and the tombs. Considering we have found the remains of 3 dead thieves in the area, it's possible that the Taffers have been using the tombs as an underground roadway for their activities. There's plenty of ways in and out of here, many of which I still haven't found. At least we don't have to worry about thieves down here anymore, with the exception of the grave-robbing guards. Attention. After sundown, this hatch leading to the secured upper levels is to remain locked and sealed until sunrise. No exceptions. Thorin.
You know you can't take it with you. But I can.
An old scroll which crumbles in your hands. I'm gonna be rich. No more work in the sewer system for me. I just heard they laid Lady Demeter to rest in the tombs, right in a chamber which is connected to one of them secret doors I found while working down here. Lucky me. I'll have to move fast, though. They'll be sealing the tunnels here by the tombs off from the rest of the drainage system in a couple of days. No problem. I'll just slip in and grab the loot. They say she was buried with her big necklace and some big-ass jewels. Invited one of my buds to come down here with me and split the loot, but he's a tad too superstitious to go along. Well, fuck him. That means more for me. I got no problems with swiping goods from dead folks that don't need it anymore. But it's sad to hear what those punk hammers did to her. I mean, who believed she was really into witchcraft? She probably just wouldn't do favors for the local priest, so they hung her instead. Oh well, I'm almost there. Time to be rich. Bubba. I didn't even remember that was his name. Okay, we've got a good head start on the loot. Lady Demeter, falsely accused and slain by the cruel hammers. There are a lot of zombies around here. I believe. Let's try and find that mechanist they said was wandering around. Here he is. Friend Avon, 2nd Reconnaissance Group. I wonder if the hammers spotted me. Didn't realize they'd already established an outpost in the area. After seeing the large groups of undead nearby, I quickly withdrew, but not before some guard looked in my direction and yelled something. At least they didn't come investigating. The chambers around the hammer zone are packed with the undead, surrounding their defenses just beyond the light, waiting for some lapse in vigilance, perhaps. I'm not sticking around to find out. I need to head back now, but I want to take at least one last look around. In the town records, there's mention of an expensive sword lying down here, somewhere. If I could perhaps find it, perhaps Kinzar would be a little more forgiving for my mistake. I hear some zombies approaching. I'll hide in the corner and let them pass before I proceed. One moment. Okay, let's proceed. $3,400. Just need about 1,000 more. Now that priest-looking haunt there, yeah, he throws magic spells. Luckily, he's not very tough. Whoa, that was a close one.
not that elders. Slash throw down for enemies. All my evil Alice shows enemies down and tear it name. Thoughts word to get you ask. Steve, you're wailing at me, Steve, and shit not that elders. Slash throw down for enemies.
A formation of crystal. Very bright. It looks like the mechanists were investigating it with some of their machines and then got overrun by the undead. And it looks like the undead worked them over pretty good. Unfortunately, there are a few still remaining. Oh, hey. Now, as dangerous as this mission is, it was far more dangerous in the original version of the mission, where the zombies exploding would actually kill you because of a bug in the engine. This Mechanist team's leader. Let's see his note. Suetonius's notes. Several samples have already been collected and sent back. Brother Cavador will be well pleased. I still haven't been able to get in friend Arbez's lab to see what he's doing in there. I hope he isn't onto me. He hardly gave us a glance when we left. An arrogant bastard, if you ask me. He's been with us from the beginning, yet no one really knows anything about him. Perhaps Cavador does. I'll find out later. Friend Justin informed me of some strange noises in the distance. Probably the hammer setting off some charges in the far west. Thorn must be as tough as they say. Can you believe they actually fought their way down here through all of the tomb levels? Justin wants us to get back to base. I told him to wait for a few more minutes while I get the last sample. After all, we know the zombies aren't on the move this time of day. This model is actually from the demo of Thief 2. The mechanist with the sword. There are a bunch of undead here, and they're fighting it out with the mechanist defenses. Let's not get mixed up there. We'll come back later. Ulrich III, the bear tamer, rest in pieces. Alice of Cyric. Alfred Hellas, beloved councilman. I don't want to go back into the sewers. Gonna try and find the thieves' hideout. I may have... I guess I'll have to use the sewer again after all. Otherwise I'll have to walk through a couple of hammerite posts. I believe the thieves' hideout might be somewhere around in this area. Yeah, there it is. Over here, there's some coins in the bottom. Not that valuable, I don't think, but every little bit helps. Wait, was I already here? I can't remember. Oh well. hideout. Okay. Look, you morons. Boss man Willie told me that his buddy Jay sent him a message this morning. To be expecting some taffer from the city. He'd be passing through here late tonight. Apparently he plans to do a little tomb robbing. I think he's crazy myself, but I don't think he'll even reach this place alive with all the spooks and hammers crawling around, but if he does, we're to let him have food and access to the armory. When he's done, he'll leave through the back tunnel. Jay said the sky is okay, so Willie says stay out of his way. Stay alert, though, just in case he bolts in here with some of the rotten fellows after him. Till. Damn, we've got problems. Kin came through here an hour ago and slipped through the tomb entrance while we weren't looking. Guess he couldn't wait till Willie got back, with some help. Wanted to grab some loot for himself, like that guy Jay told us about. I don't think we'll see either of them here alive. What makes it worse is the fact that Kin had one of the 3 keys to the river entrance. Since some idiot lost our copy, Willie has the only other one, and he's gone right now. We're stuck here until Willie gets back. I sure hope there's no trouble.
Quiet, I hear something.
Huh? What was that?
Take what you need, Taffer. Just remember you owe us a favor or two. No, I don't think the sunburst charge is necessary at any point in the mission. That's the exit tunnel over here. But like the note said, the key is on a guy that got lost among the zombies, so we gotta find his body and the key.
What did I hear?
Willie must be crazy or desperate for cash to want to raid those tombs tonight. He's supposed to be bringing down more guys to help. All I can say is they're more than welcome to try. After I get some much needed sleep, I'm leaving. Besides, if that nutcase that's supposed to be coming through here in the tombs actually makes it here alive, there's liable to be nothing left to swipe near our area. Seeing the respect Jay has for him, he must be good.
What?
Entry 103. Hasn't been long ago that we broke into the tombs while digging. We were all pretty surprised when it happened. I had no idea the tombs sunk so far underground and under that little cemetery in the middle of town. All those old stories about Liskin being a big-time place rivaling the city must have been true. I had steel doors put in place of the old wood ones at the entrances, and a secret door built of strong old brick that lined the tombs, reinforced with steel plate on the inside. I don't think anyone is going to get down here, but people from town snooping around here are the least of my worries. Entry 104. I've been doing a little reconnaissance of the tombs with my top 2 taffers. There's in the gang, and I'm quite astounded at the vast area we've discovered. Not to mention terrified. There's a fair share of loot down here, but I told my boys not to touch anything. If there's some kind of curse around this place, we don't and we disturbed something we shouldn't, we'd have a swarm of zombies that would make the whole town into what the old quarter in the city used to be until the Baron's army with them hammers took it back with great loss. Several of the old-timers here faced undead and various grave-robbing exploits. And we all agree we'd rather take our chances snatching stuff from rich folks topside than tap the wrong thing and face a whole damn army of them spooks. The younger guys that come through here haven't ever had a haunt chase them, and might disagree and start stealing. So I've made it clear in no uncertain terms that nobody is to enter the tombs that I haven't okayed. Entry 105. Back when I became a thief. If it was to make easy money, now I'm sweating like a pig from hard work. It's well worth it, though. After we drag the generator sections through the tunnel and put the thing together, it works great. Don't know where Jay got that thing. He just giggled when I asked him. Must have stole it from those mech boys. I hate those damn metal faces. The generator runs real quiet. I've got Brenner putting up some electric lights in the break room and dinner hall. It'll finally be nice to get rid of some of those more damn torches that kept us half suffocated here, even with those fancy vent tubes we put in a while back. I'm going to keep some new gas lights around, though. Don't want us to be totally blacked out if the generator decides to take a spell. Entry 106. Being bad weather topside, not having as many fellow tappers moving and about to come down here from the outside, so I left old Till in charge while I slipped out with Brenner to have another look around the tombs. I took some holy water, and Brenner brought a couple of flash bombs just in case. We proceeded further into the tombs than before, and made some good finds. Saw a large underground chapel that the Hammers had made a while back in the north. Right before we got there, we stumbled across a doorway leading to an access shaft that takes you right to the surface. It looks like it leads to that old locked-up courtyard near some of the abandoned buildings not far from the cemetery. Judging by the rustiness of the hinges and locks, it hasn't been used in years, perhaps decades. I don't think anyone knows it's there, much less where it leads to. Just to be on the safe side, I'll head back there with Brenner later tonight to replace those old locks with the new ones that only I, Till, and Brenner have a key to. If our entrance by the lake was ever found out, we could use it as an escape route. I think I just might put in some kind of spooky inscription on the floor at the bottom to scare away anybody that would snoop that far, too. We then moved to the northeast of the tombs and saw some kind of pyramid-shaped crystal, which gave off an unearthly glow. Something crazy. Some crazy noble probably laid it over his tomb as a monument. We gave it a wide berth as we passed by. Now we've hit pay dirt. In the east part of these tombs, near one of the big chambers, we found a secret tunnel. Brenner and I were nervous, but we decided to take a careful peek, only to find it lead straight into the basement of Lord Linus, one of the richest bigwigs in town. We grabbed some antiques he'd stashed down there, along with several fine bottles of wine, and snuck back into the tombs. We made sure we closed the passage behind us and continued our circle of the tomb area. We passed through a big doorway into a massive chamber with a big stone pyramid. We could see some kind of light at the top, as well as various items there. Didn't even think about climbing up there to get a closer look. My gut told me we'd be sorry if we monkeyed around up there. After passing through this chamber and through a small exit, I think I'll put some locks on that area too. If some of the young boys were to see that place, they might go climbing. We soon arrived back home. I figure we'll be paying some more visits to Linus's estate in the future, but I'm damn sure whoever I send is going to follow the rules. That whole area is bigger than I thought. As deep as this area is, I'm sure there's the likelihood of more levels between here and the surface cemetery, where I've seen that great stone seal. If it's true, this place would be almost as big as the Bone Horde. Entry 107. Brenner took a couple of young guys out for another visit to the Linus place. Before going, they visited the old wishing well, I guess that's what it is, and tossed in some coins for luck. Their wishes were granted all right. They snatched over 1,000 loot. Nobody was hurt except for a couple of servants who were knocked out in the kitchen. They even took some of the plates, too. From their report, most of the guards patrolled the walls outside of the mansion, which no thief had ever made across alive. No need to worry about it now that we have our own way in. Tried talking Jay into coming down here for a look around, but getting him down here is like pulling teeth. Mention the word tomb to him and he breaks out in a cold sweat. Can't really blame him myself. They tell me he nearly got eaten by zombies while trying to sneak into the Alaris extension in the Bone Horde before the Hammers sealed it up. Wanted to see if that old wives' tale about some kind of upgraded bow the likes of which had never been seen was true. I guess he got his curiosity satisfied. Entry 108. Talked to Jay at the pub today. He said that Linus had fired the captain of the guard, and hired even more swords to guard his place. Apparently, he thinks we got through the outer defenses somehow. Good. Let him think that. After things die down a little, we'll pay his place an even more lucrative visit. Entry 109. Jay is out of town right now. From what I gather, he's made the acquaintance of some thief from the city. Don't like city thieves myself. A little too murderous for my taste. John says this guy is different. A real professional by the looks of it. If he's as good as Jay thinks, we may be seeing him around here sometime. Feel like I could just up and lop Till's head off for that dumb crap he pulled last night. I swear for an old thief who's survived so much, he's pretty brainless after a few shots of mead. Well, the little operation we've got planned here later should brighten the mood a bit. Brenner's going to lead a group to make a major heist of the Linus estate, through the secret way, of course. I gave him extra gas arrows, so if they're discovered, there's still a good chance they can get away without spilling any blood. That's the bad thing about a lot of Taffers nowadays. Just too bloodthirsty. Like that guy I heard that robbed Lord Jerome's estate. They said the Taffer got on the roof of the place and just showered the guards below with arrows. Total unprofessional mayhem, if you ask me. Kind of funny how Jay laughed when I told him about it, though. Anyway, after Brenner's boys get done, we'd better call it quits on Taff and Linus's house. If he ever found out about the secret passage and his guards came snooping down here, we might have some trouble. Entry 110. Builder, help us. All hell is broken loose. I'm glad I grabbed that holy water a while back, just in case something happened. The dead have risen up in an unholy resurrection. It happened a little while after Brenner's group left on their way to the Linus estate. I had three of our boys guarding the entrance to the tombs when all of a sudden there were strange flashes of light and unearthly moans. Then the lids of the tombs began to explode. Zombies began pouring out of their graves into the rooms. I heard the screams of the guards and rushed out with two others into the chamber. One of them was dead and the others were hacking away with their blades, trying to keep the horse from getting into the entrance. We joined in the fray and I screamed for everyone to fall back. In the struggle, one of my men was dragged off into the darkness and killed despite our efforts to save him. After throwing a flash bomb at the undead pressing in, I sealed the entrance. I hope it holds. I can still hear them clawing at it now. Brenner, please forgive me, my friend. There's no way we could have left it open long enough for you to get back. I splashed some holy water around the entrance and the hall leading into the hideout. Hopefully we won't have any more apparitions entering here and wounding anyone else. Got an archer with fire arrows covering the halls, but I sure hope that door holds. Entry 111. Things look bad, and most of my fellow Taffers have left. Don't blame them at all. But I'm not going to run just yet. I've been here a long time, and I won't leave without seeing if anything can be salvaged out of this mess. The doors seem to be holding, especially since I've doused them with holy water. How did this crap happen? Did someone try to tamper with something while Brenner wasn't looking? Don't know, but Jay is supposed to come later with extra holy water and explosives. He should have more news about what's happening. The noises at the door should have stopped. And one of the local boys came by last night. Didn't stay for long. Sure couldn't blame him. Said there was some kind of commotion in town. We're tense as hell. Every man that has remained here is on full alert with swords and flash bombs ready. Entry 112. Jay's here, and he has great news. Brenner's alive. He got mauled pretty bad, but Jay has him hidden away at his place where the best healer in town is treating him. Must be costing Jay a bundle to bribe that doc to keep his mouth shut. They tell me there's more hammers arriving by the minute. Apparently, he decided to swing to make a detour and toss a few coins in the wishing well again for good fortune before heading to Linus's the long way. That probably saved his bacon. When it hit the fan, he wasn't far from the access shaft we'd found before. He was able to make it up there, slashing left and right at the zombies coming after him. Only 2 guys were able to make it out with him. The rest were lost. After Brenner was able to stagger to Jay's place to hide, the other guys hauled ass out of town. If he hadn't made that detour, he would have been smack dab in the middle of the tombs and would have never made it. Jay said the Great Seal on the cemetery had been broken, and zombies were pouring out. The town watches fighting for their lives trying to contain the mess. The local hammers have joined in, and with the help of some of the locals, the Maggot Boys are contained in the cemetery area. Well, for now. Guess that explains why they aren't trying to break in here. They want to devour the whole damn town. Entry 113. Things are looking up. Brenner's doing better, and Jay's got us a whole arsenal of toys to play with down here. He had a hard time pulling it off, though. He used our hideout entrance by the old dam. It was a fairly remote place, but with everything that's happened, we all have to be extra cautious going in and out with all the hammers and the fuzz around here. Don't want the law raiding in one end while the zombies got us blocked on the other. From now on, all transit to and from the outside is restricted to late at night. I finally figured out what's caused all this mess. Jay got the details from one of the town watchmen that owes him a few favors. On the night of the uprising, some warlock wannabe showed up in the cemetery and began performing some kind of dark ritual. A kid passed by on his way home. He saw it and alerted the town watch, who went down there just in time to see the zombies come and rip the bugger apart and eat him alive. Don't know who he was, but that's what you get when you start messing around with the Dark Lord. Entry 114. Big force of hammers have arrived from the city, led by the legendary Thorin himself. From what I've been told, Thorin is known to be an expert fighter of the undead. Looks like he's hired some mercenaries too. Since the war ended, there's been plenty of veterans that need a job that have resulted in there being no lack of swords to hire. Yesterday, they stormed the cemetery and drove the zombies back to the entrance of the underground area. Judging by the stockpiles of hammers, holy water, and high explosives, the struggle has just begun. One moment. Entry 115. Things have been rather quiet in our area the last couple of weeks, but Jay says it's war in the upper levels of the tombs. Every day, Thorin and his men advance, smashing zombies, showering tombs with holy water, and placing holy hammers everywhere. Then, when the night comes, swarms of zombies and apparitions attack the underground strong points he's built. Despite his losses, he's still advancing slowly. It won't be long before he finds his way down to this level. The good thing is he's beating the undead back. The bad thing is, if he makes it down here and finds us, he'll splatter us all just the same. Entry 116. After what he's done for us, I'm giving Jay a doubled share of the profits. We've got holy swords now. The blades are forged to the finest steel, which is then cooled in holy water. From what the mercs resting at the pub said, them blades are just as good as the hammers. There's war sledges when it comes to putting zombies down for the count. While we were sorting through the goods, Jay took me to the side and mentioned that his new pal was interested in seeing what wealth was lying about in the tombs. We discussed it for a while, and I told him if his friend was crazy enough to come down here and willing to give us a share of the profits, he was welcome to. No use in the ban on stealing down here anymore after what's happened. He better come quick, though. From all the noise and vibrations we've been picking up from far off, Thorin has battled his way down here. Word has it he's taken over the northern chapel, and is staging his advances from there right now. There are rumors that there have been mechanists spotted around Linus's estate. Gus, the old guy, hired him to protect his place after our robberies and current events. Entry 117. Today I'm leaving the hideout to meet with Jay and some of the thieves from the outside. If we all agree, a group of us is going to try to raid the tombs tonight. Nothing spectacular. Just run in and grab as much gold as we can and take off. With our holy swords and the fact that Thorin has considerably thinned the zombie hordes, I think we can pull it off. We all agree the hammers are getting closer to our area, and all activity in town is getting too risky. Here, but there's no way we're going to leave empty-handed. Jay said his buddy was going to enter the area through the old access shaft, since it was right by where he was staying. I still can't believe no one has taken a look at it. Guess they do think it just leads to the sewers. He's going to grab as much as he can carry and leave through the back entrance. I just hope that for his sake he doesn't get lost. I think he's crazy to go it alone that way myself. But from what I hear, but from what I get, excuse me. But from what I can get Jay to tell me, this guy is supposed to be a real master. We'll see. To our new guest. If you're reading this note, you've obviously slipped into my room to go look around while I'm not here. Well, go ahead. Try to unlock my chest. You won't be able to. No lockpick can open it. Only I have the key. Don't worry, though. I'm not angry. You wouldn't be the top taffer Jay says you are if you weren't snooping around. Relax and make yourself at home. I won't be back for a while. Jay and I are trying to figure out where we can set up another safe house because we're forced to flee the coop here. If you haven't already, feel free to swipe whatever you like from the tombs if you got the guts. I've dropped the rules against grave robbing, since the undead are restless thanks to that damn sorcerer. Glad those zombies got him. Just don't end up the same way. Good luck, Chief Willie. Nice try, Taffer. Look, you morons. You see this pretty Look, you morons. You see this pretty little pool of warm water here? It's a hot tub, not a damn toilet. If I catch any more of you taffers pissing in here, I'll skin you alive. Willie.
around here.
Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben, acht, neun. Aus.
So we gotta find Ken, the thief that got lost with the key to the hideout exit. We've searched most everywhere else, so let's return to the Mechanist area and have a look around. There's the moss, so I'm back on track to finding my way to the Mechanist area. Now looks like the undead had destroyed some of the defenses, but I'm in no shape to take on all of them, so let's move on. Ah, here it is. Yeah, there's Ken. And the key to the exit. I'm so screwed. Even if I figure out how to get out of this alive, Willie's gonna kick the shit out of me for sure. Be patient, Ken. We'll get a shot at grabbing some loot when we get reinforcements, he said. But no, I just had to slip out and find some treasure for myself. I just knew I would end up guarding the game room. Where did Jay get that awful music from? Well, everybody else got the treasure and glory, so I slipped out. I might be one of the younger guys, but I've seen my share of the undead. Didn't have much trouble in the beginning. Those decomposing dirtbags are easy to avoid, provided you're quiet and keep your distance. Should have turned back when I saw the dead Mechanist in one of the middle chambers. But curiosity got the better of me, and I had to keep going just a step further to see what was going on. Now I'm in a jam. Slipped into that big chamber where the secret door to Linus's basement is, only to find the far end lit up like the sun and loaded with those fancy mech security toys covering a huge tunnel. I was about to turn back when I saw a group of haunts approaching. Hiding myself among the graves, I saw some of them attack the turrets and get blown to bits. Those turrets are no joke. The others fell back, and a group of mechs with some of their more mobile toys came charging out of the tunnel and ran the rest of them out of the chamber. Talk about hot pursuit. I could have reached out and touched them, they came so close to me. When they passed, I decided to make a run for it. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I headed back to the north entrance, only to find a whole horde of zombies heading my way. With the zombies coming out of one end and mechs in the other, I did the only thing I could and bolted for the secret entrance. I had just made it when I heard one of the machines firing, then there was a big crash, and it felt like an earthquake. I guess there was some sort of collapse in the south tunnel the mechanists were chasing the haunts into. Since then, I've been sitting here in the tunnel, between a rock and a hard place. You could hear some of the mechs running and banging around outside for a while. Looks like they were seeing if anyone was left. Now they've pulled back, and you can hear a bunch of zombies groaning out there. They must be at the far end, away from those badass turrets, I guess. From the amount of zombies out there, it must be night time. Where did they come from? Didn't see that many before, and I came right up through the middle of those tombs. I've got two choices. I could go up the ladder and see if I could sneak my way into Linus's basement. Perhaps I could sneak into the mansion upstairs and get out from there, but the basement is probably crawling with mechanists, and even if I made it through there, there's no guarantee I could get through all the defenses topside. Perhaps I could ditch all my gear and loot here and try to pass myself off as a new servant up there. Just to get lost, but then I might just end up as a servant mech style. That explains why so many poor folks have been disappearing. How did Jay ever find out about this stuff? I couldn't believe it when he first told me at the pub not long ago. My second option is to sit tight and wait for sunrise. Accordingly, to everything I've heard about the undead, their level of activity drops during the day, even down here. My best chance is to get out and make it home alive. It will be then. I'll just have to be quick about it, because the mechs will undoubtedly come back down here looking for trouble. Lily and the boys will have made their tomb raid by then, and the place will be abandoned and sealed. At least that won't be a problem. I've got one of the exit keys. With the secret door shut and me being quiet, I think I'll be safe from the zombies. Apparently somebody found him.
And behold, my fingers interlock like cogs on a gear. I am part of this unbeholdable machine.
Those doors go up to Linus's...
Unawares, good friend. Something wrongful.
Those doors over there go up to Linus's estate, but those doors are just a prop. You can't actually go up to the mansion. Not that you'd want to. As has been stated so many times, it's basically a fortress. Hello, Thames. Glad to hear about your promotion, but I still urge you to get out of the combat battalion before you get yourself shipped off to the island. I know you want to prove your worth, but if you would join the new aerospace team, you could do much in far safer circumstances. Let me tell you a secret. Our probe actually found the moon has a thin atmosphere that may be breathable. Yes, it's true, and far more I can't talk to you about without proper clearance. But you have to transfer quickly. I can arrange things if you proceed quickly. Please consider this before you end up as zombie chow. Friend Shoal. Friend Sean, please listen to what I have to say. Didn't you hear what happened yesterday? Friend Suetonius took four friends and some machines out to survey the large glowing crystal friend Avon reported before his unfortunate disappearance on his last recon mission. Friend Arbez was working on the turrets with a guard of the new mech soldiers, along with some armed servants. He didn't even look up as Suetonius's group passed by, not even to ask what they were doing. As time passed, several samples of crystal were ferried back up the tunnel by a servant bot. As Arbez completed his work on the turrets, we began to hear explosions in the distance, along with the terrible howls and moans of a horde of zombies. The turrets opened fire as the undead entered the chamber. They were quickly destroyed, but more came. I told Arbez we had to go to Suetonius's aid at once. They wouldn't last long without our help. "Did Kintar send them?" was all he asked. When I told him no, he just sneered and ordered us to withdraw up the tunnel instead. I tried to protest. He said he wasn't going to jeopardize anyone else's life because of the stupidity of one man. That's what he's telling Priest Kintar and the rest of the friends, but he's lying. He wanted them to die. You could see it on his face. He was trying not to smile at the sounds of combat as they faded in the distance. What did he have against Suetonius that he would do such a thing? This is not all. You know Arbez has zombies in his lab. You weren't here when it was done, but the rest of us saw it. Arbez came out of the tunnel with his mech soldiers, dragging 3 of them in here. Despite their resistance, they seemed almost sedate compared to the undead behavior I've witnessed in the past. I swear that man manifests a power not of the Builder. I've requested to be assigned to Priest Kintar's squad immediately. Despite the blunders he's made, he's the only leader I feel we can trust. His friend Nikita. You might notice that that's the same name as the note that we found on the tomb after we took Lysander's sword. Yeah, it just so conveniently happens that someone who knew that Arbez was up to something ended up dead. Friend Sean's notes. Nikita needs to think less and focus on her job. People got left behind when Arbez pulled back to the entry point. So what? They didn't bother asking Kintar for permission before they advanced into the tombs to grab some samples of that strange crystal. Although it does remind me some of that Sorry, something was in my throat. Although it does indeed remind me of some of that stuff that Cavador's people have been researching. Arbez was assigned here to test new modifications for our fighting machines, not to rescue idiots who run headfirst into danger without orders. He'll have plenty of chances for combat when he gets sent to the Haunted Isle. I think the Mechanist Council representatives have given him his new assignment. I'm sure of it, from what friend Ortega said about the situation there. They need a strong leader, and Arbez seems to function well under pressure, unlike the rest of the fools. Maybe I can get transferred there myself. I would love to participate in real undead clearing operations, not tomb raiding for gold and jewels, which is exactly what we were sent here to do. Who gives a damn what he's doing in his lab anyway? The Numax soldiers can handle the undead with ease, so I'm not worried about what's in the lab. Arbez is obviously making weapons tests in a controlled environment. As far as I'm concerned, he's doing a good job. I wish Nikita would. What? The turrets are under attack. Kintar's calling our squad to follow him while the rest remain here with friends Chin and Tilst. I'll be back. And again, conveniently, people seem to have a way of ending up dead because of Arbez.
Verily we hacked and fled.
For use if thou art in need. Well, thank you. A new enemy. These are mech troopers or mech soldiers. Basically cyborgs that Arbez has created. This mech soldier has been damaged in combat. Standard repairs may be done in my absence, however the cerebral gears are not to be tampered with. Only I have authorization to do so, friend Arbez. Power regulation control. Another group of zombies is approaching the base, and two mech soldiers have been deployed and are going into action. And now we come to Arbez's lab, which was being watched by quite a few masked mechanist guards, or servant guards. He's obviously hiding a dark secret, but what is it? We'll find out next time. See you then.